is Sarah. I live in Cleveland, Ohio. I am 37, almost 38, and I have always wanted children, like more than anything. Of course, I want to have a lifelong relationship with someone I love, but it just hasn't happened for me yet. And at 37, almost 38, I've realized I need to do something. If I want to have children, I need to figure this out. There's been a lot of people in my life that have said, just relax and it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. However, something that happened this year to me kind of sped up this process of deciding to move forward and have a baby on my own. I had actually made an appointment with a reproductive endocrinologist. I had blood work done, and then I had my baseline ultrasound. When I got the results of the ultrasound back, they found a polyp on my uterus. Before proceeding with the egg freezing, I scheduled a surgery within like 2 weeks and to just get that removed. It was a little bit vague with me because he said, so it looks like the polyp had some precancerous or cancerous cells. At this point in your journey, I need to refer you to an oncologist to go over this further with you, but we'll reconvene, hopefully in the near future and proceed with the egg freezing. And he referred me to the head of gynecologic oncology. So I go to the appointment and I walk in. I had all these questions written down, and my first question was, how will we determine which cells were cancerous or precancerous? Or can you tell me if they're cancerous or precancerous? So it was like the first question that I started to ask him, and he literally cut me off like mid-sentence, and he was like, oh no, you have cancer. And he just looked at me like that and was like, you have cancer. He said that I had grade 2 endometrial cancer. He basically told me that I needed to have a hysterectomy. They wanted me to have a hysterectomy like ASAP, which was scary and, again, devastating for somebody who has never wanted anything more in life than to have children. And I was like, why do I have to have a hysterectomy right now? The first thing that I thought of is okay, they removed this polyp. The polyp had cancerous cells, right? So I'm like, so how do we know if the cancer has even spread to my uterus yet? How do we know it spread at all? My just gut reaction was I feel like the cancer was just in this polyp. He told me that if I refused a hysterectomy, which is what they recommended, that the next step would be to have a DNC and test the lining of my uterus to see if there was cancer in the lining, and also have CAT scans of my chest and abdomen and an MRI of my pelvis. DNC was on July 8th, and the following week I had my CAT scans and MRIs. I just decided to schedule a mammogram just to make sure, because I was just like, okay, we got the chest and abdomen and pelvis covered, might as well just be thorough here, That was a crazy couple of weeks, waiting for the results. They all came back negative for cancer. So I had a follow-up appointment with the oncologist, and he said that the tumor board at the Cleveland Clinic still recommends a hysterectomy because they think that because my cancer is grade 2, that it is very likely to return and be more aggressive. I ended up still refusing to have a hysterectomy because at this point, I still want children, and I feel like the cancer is not going to come back, and that we caught it early. And to be honest, the reason we caught it early is because my desire to have children was so strong that I decided to go about the whole process on my own because I haven't met the love of my life yet. So I was going to take matters into my own hands. And if we didn't catch that polyp, in an ultrasound. Who knows like how long the cancer would have just remained in my uterus and like spread, and like I literally probably could have died if I didn't want to have a baby on my own, if I didn't schedule that ultrasound and want to start the egg freezing process. So I am eternally grateful to my future baby or babies, because I feel like they saved my life. Like went back to my RE and I said, let's do this. Like, let's freeze my eggs. My ovaries just felt heavy. They felt like they were several pounds each. It just was really, really uncomfortable. At this point, it wasn't painful, but it was uncomfortable. I started getting shortness of breath probably about 3 days before my egg retrieval. And I was just so anxious to have my egg retrieval over because I thought at that point I would start getting some relief. Absolutely miserable, uncomfortable, in pain, nauseous. I had a fever. Of like every single day I was throwing up. It actually got progressively worse for like 3 or 4 days. So by the 4th day, I ended up going to the emergency room because I just felt like I was getting worse and I was scared that something was wrong. They did some tests, so they did an ultrasound. My ovaries were still touching, still huge. They told me that it should get better soon and I wasn't in any danger. They ran some blood tests, and they said that I should start feeling better. After about a week, I started feeling a little bit better, but it was several weeks before my ovaries actually went back to normal. The good news is, and what I am very grateful for, is that they got the 35 eggs that they got, and froze them, and I'm just, I want to say it was worth it. It was worth it, but I really don't want to ever go through that again. It was probably the most uncomfortable and the most amount of pain that I've ever been in my life. So yeah. I had 35 eggs retrieved and frozen back in August. And they were thawed last week, and 29 of the 35 survived the thaw. 18 eggs fertilized successfully, and 17 embryos made it to day 2. 15 embryos made it to day 3, 12 embryos to day 4. Only 2 made it to the blastocyst stage. Today, I got 7 more. So 7 more blastocysts today. So I have 9 total that were biopsied. And again, the PGTA testing, in case you don't know, is to just test the number of chromosomes of the embryos to make sure they are chromosomally normal. So the call I got today, the embryologist said I only have 1 normal embryo. My embryo transfer, that is now scheduled for January 4th. Wow, it does look really big compared to that embryo. I guess that really gives you... Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that bright spot there is a drop of fluid with the embryo, right where
There was also studies that looked at emptying the bladder right away and
Beautiful.
increased uterine contractions. So I wonder if you have extra pressure.
Hooray!
that's why it would be.
I'm so excited right now. I'm about to find out the gender of my embryo that was just placed in my uterus today. This envelope. So I'm gonna do that now. I really have no idea how I'm gonna react to this. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. It's a boy! Oh my god. So it's so funny because I of course would be happy with either a boy or a girl. Absolutely. But I just have had this weird feeling that I was gonna have a girl first. Even though I've kind of always wanted a boy first. But this is just, oh my god. Oh my god. I can't wait. I cannot wait to be a boy mom. My beta came back negative on Wednesday. It was just really hard to go from being so unbelievably excited to have faint positives on days 6 and 7, and then, you know, my heart definitely was sinking in the days following that, when the line was not getting darker and then went away completely. There was definitely HCG in my system for at least a couple days, which means if there's HCG in your system, that means the embryo implanted. So I was pregnant for like a week, and it was literally the best week of my life. If anything, I guess it just showed me that this is truly, you know, my purpose in life is to be a mom. As soon as I had that embryo, you know, transferred to my uterus, I viewed life differently for that week. Like everything I was doing for the best interest of my baby. The thought of starting completely all over from the beginning of this IVF process is just petrifying to me. I'm going to do it. I have to do it because it's my only choice. I mean, I have to be a mom. There's no other option for me. I'm very determined to make this happen. Not working towards my goal of being a mother right now. Like, I feel like I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs. It's like miserable for me. So I really want to move forward as soon as possible. Okay, thank you.
I saw on there the second function, but it's just one. And it started to catch up a little bit more than what we took the picture about an hour ago, so that's all good.
Okay.
It's darker than yesterday. God, I'm like really pregnant.
So basically there's an opening here and there is stuffing inside. Blue or pink stuffing. There you go. Lily. Yay! It's a boy.